Hello YouTube, it's Atticus. I want you guys to meet somebody. This was a promise that I'm keeping. So, yeah, hello. Alright guys, so it's Atticus. I hope you guys are doing well. I just recorded a video and realized my mic wasn't turned on, so I'm having to redo it. It was an Empire versus Dark Elf game. I actually had two videos that I wanted to show. This one right here, which is a Dark Elf versus Wood Elf. The reason I'm showing another one of these games is just because this is a really hard matchup for Dark Elf players. I feel like a lot of people struggle against it, so I wanted to show you some ways. I've done a couple videos showing how to defeat the Wood Elves, so I figured I'd do another one. And this is such a beautiful map. I've never played on this map before, and I think it's so cool. I mean, look at this high elf, bridge right here, or whatever that is, gate. So, yeah, with that, let's just go ahead and jump into the builds, guys, and I'll show you what I brought. For my Lord, we are bringing the Dreadlord, guys, and this is just the basic one, not the one with the crossbow, just the normal sword and shield variant. And the reason you take this is obviously for the shield. You want to go really cheap. You don't want to have a really expensive lord that could get sniped by Way Watchers. You just want something that's going to be a really small target and it's going to be able to protect itself. For my magic, guys, I did bring a sorceress. Where is she at? I do have a sorceress here. Yep, right there. And I believe it is a beast sorceress. Yep, so this is, pretty popular in the meta right now. Stripped down, all I'm taking is the Manticore summon. So yeah, like I said, real small targets, nothing fancy. One of the ideas when fighting the Wood Elves is just go a lot of cheap units. Don't have anything which Way Watch, pretty much just make your opponent waste bringing Way Watchers. For my infantry corps, guys, you can see I've brought in 4 units of spearmen, surrounded by 2 units of the handbows. And if you watch any of my games, guys, last 10 videos, you know how much I'm loving these guys. And they're actually really good against the Wood Elves as well, because if you think about it, Wild Riders, Sisters of Thorn, War Dancers, none of them have armor. So these handbows, being able to shoot them in the face, is just devastating. Also have a unit of chariots. I mean, chariots are a really good counter for, disrupting formations, grouping up your enemy. They have armor-piercing missiles that could deal with tree men, and yeah, they'll just absolutely just crush pretty much any infantry that your opponent can bring. And yeah, guys, this is the big thing right here, though. We got 2 bolt throwers here in the middle, surrounded by or protected by a Cold Wind Knight. So I was always expecting some, Wood Elves are always going to be able to hit you from the back, so I knew my opponent probably had something vanguarded here. So yeah, it's really good to keep a Cold Wind Knight and Deep Reserve. And here in the woods, guys, we have 2 units of Doomfire Warlocks, one being the Celestia Harvesters. So this was something I actually learned from Indie Pride. I used to bring Knights of the Ebon Claw and units like that, but he suggested trying these guys, and since I've done it, I mean, they are, just a much better pick. They're quick, their spells come in really handy. They're able to get into the back line, and harass missile units. They can hold their own against Wild Riders, more or less, especially with the Word of Pain. And yeah, I mean, their mobility is just a really good factor. So that's my build, guys. Of course, the bolt throwers here in the middle are used to screen out Way Watchers and archers. And then I can also be used to, screen out Durthru and things like that. As for my opponent on this beautiful map, guys, we have a Glady up on an eagle. We have 2 units of treekin on each side, which I do like. This is really good for protecting your back line, keeping cavalry from getting in. We also have a tree man, and yeah, these guys are actually really good now that they got the recent armor piercing buff. So yeah, they can actually deal with lords and lead infantry and even cav. Front line of the Winterheart Guard mixed in with some Wildwood Rangers, so he was really expecting some powerful Dark Elf infantry. So it's kind of almost a waste for him because these guys are going to get shot in the face by my handbows as well. A couple of the Eternal Guards, and then in the back we have Glade Guard, and these are just the regular versions. We have 3 of these, it looks like, and a Eternal Guard here in the back protecting him. So he does have some cav somewhere here on this map. I'm not sure where it was, but he does. Yep, right here. He has a unit of Wild Riders and Deep Vanguard. So that's the armies. Let's go ahead and jump into the match, guys, and we'll see how it goes. So right off the bat, sorry. May I kept my promise. The bolt throwers are going to start moving into position, and yeah, we're going to obviously start trying to shoot down these Wildwood Rangers. There's not anything really that is like a really super threat to my army, something that takes priority. So yeah, might as well just take out the most expensive units he has, and we're going to start. He has a long distance to traverse here, so we're going to be able to start opening up. Now, eventually, we will change to the treekin. Not that we don't have adequate units that, things that can kill them. It's just that there are big targets that are a lot easier to hit. Over here, I'm going to start moving my chariot up. I don't see anything that can really screen these guys out, so why not start getting a little bit of free damage? With these armor-piercing range out here, they're going to start shooting into these treekin, and eventually we're going to go in there and we're just going to, send them in to shut down his back line. Over here, I'm going to get my first Manticore summon, guys, and what I want to do is just hold these guys up. I want to send the Manticore here on a suicide mission, right into the middle of these Glade Guard, and then it will disrupt his formation and give me more time for my bolt throwers to start opening them up. And here you can see that they are starting to move up. Here we go. Let's watch one of the volleys of the bolt throwers just comes in and just absolutely just starts shredding these guys. Nothing more, fun to watch than bolt throwers, shooting in. My opponent is going to start shooting at my units, but yeah, guys, we're shielded with silver shields, so we're not going to take a lot of damage. It's just going to waste a lot of his ammunition. And yeah, there we go. The first Manticore is going to come in there. It does cause terror, and it's going to do really good. All meanwhile, you can see that my Doomfire Warlocks are going to come around, guys, and we're going to be able to get around these treekin. So now his backline is exposed, and you can see that we're going to pounce on it like two, tigers getting ready to attack. This is what I was talking about, guys. Look at these Hambos just in the back right here, protected. Not really anything that, you don't have to worry about micro them. And yeah, they're just shooting in. And you can see how quick they're going to be able to shoot down these Wilded Riders. And pretty much anything but the Eternal Guard, they're going to do really good at. Over here, my opponent I was not braced. I forgot, I wasn't able to show this, but I wasn't braced, and my opponent did get a rear charge into my Coldwind Knights, and yeah, they actually were doing really good, but I sent my Dreadlord here to reinforce, and we're able to, scare these guys away. He was trying to get into the bolt throwers, but he did get that free charge, and you can see I do have these units of Hambos coming to reinforce it as well, because at this point, I don't know how many Wild Riders that he does have. Now you can see that we're just absolutely disrupting and crushing the back line. You can see that the Doomfire Warlocks are coming. Same with the Celestial Harvesters, and yeah, we're instantly going to wreck, two of the three archer units that he does have. Over here, you can see the Chariots is coming in, guys. I'm going to start getting them into melee here pretty soon. And yeah, my opponent is starting to get shot at. I'm going to have the bolt thrower start shooting at her. Now, she's a small, agile target, so she's not going to take a lot of damage. But yeah, guys, we're going to get our first charge in with these Coldwind Chariots. And I'm going to pull away for some reason. It's because I decided to attack these Glade Guards. You can see I'm going to get a Doom Bolt on these. And this was the free spell by the Doomfire Warlocks, guys. Look at that damage. I mean, look at those bodies go flying. I mean, instantly just destroyed a full unit, between the free spells of the Doomfire Warlocks and the Chariots. And all meanwhile, the bolt throwers are just shooting in, just destroying my opponent. You can see the second Manticore summon is going to get in. And there's this point, guys, same with like when you're fighting Empire, once you get into the back line, you win. And you can see we're just getting rear penalties in. We're getting the rear penalty attacks onto his opponent. And his army is just, starting to collide. It's starting to just collapse. He does have this treatment at full health, and it is posing a little bit of a threat, especially surrounded by all these the Winterheart Guard and these Eternal guards. So it's going to take a moment to actually get through these. You can see that the Manticore I'm going to send to snipe his Lord. I figured he'll either have to start just running away or he'll have to commit to the fight. And all meanwhile, the bolt throwers, who are going to start missing, but yeah, there we are. We're going to get a direct hit in. He is going to have some of his archers coming back from routing and start shooting into the Manticore. But what does it matter, guys? I mean, it's a free summon unit, so I mean, it's a win-win for me. Over here, guys, you can see that the Hambos are providing their Overwatch, and look at how quickly we're just being able to destroy my opponent. Pretty much all his infantry is collapsed. Balance of power is really strongly in my favor. He does have these treekin, but yeah, treekin are meant to hold, not to kill. Over here you can see that I'm going to get another good chariot charge in. We're dealing with the last of his Wildwood Rangers, and especially with the Overwatch of these Black Orc Corsairs of Hambos, guys. Everything's just working really good. You can see I'm going to send my Dreadlord in for armor-piercing melee, and yeah, we'll start just shutting down those treekins as well. Here in the back, guys, my Celestial Harvesters are just cleaning up the rest of these Glade Guard, keeping them from shooting into my army, but I have such a lead in balance of power. Even though my opponent does have this treekin, yeah, you can see he's pretty much lost all his infantry. The bolt thrower is going to start shooting in on him, and yeah, I'm going to send all my spear units and all my cav, and we're going to start trying to destroy this filthy tree. You can see that his Glade Lord is wavering. I have one bolt thrower shoot at him, and yeah, guys, I mean, we just have total map control at this point. So yeah, this is such a good answer to Wood Elves. Even if you'd have brought a cav heavy build, the Black Orc Corsairs, the bolt thrower, just pretty much everything I went is still a really good answer to it. And you can see over here, guys, these treekin are still holding. But my opponent has lost so much of his army that's going to be army losses. We are going to get a Doom Bolt, but I don't think we're going to be able to see it before army losses happen, especially with Word of Pain hitting them. And yeah, there he goes. Boom, a direct hit. The only way that he's still alive right now is the Eternal Guard. You can see that I do cast Soul Blight on him, and keep in mind, this is all by the Doomfire Warlocks. And we're obviously just going to keep my forces now to, cleaning up the remaining units of the Wood Elves. Let's see how quickly we kill them. So he has 31 models left. Here comes the chariots. Here comes the Hambos. You can see we're escorting the tree man off the map. You can see the Velociraptors hot on his tails, and that's going to be a victory for the druchii, guys, especially now that the Doomfire Warlocks are coming in. You see that these Winterheart Guard are just completely surrounded. 19, 18, 16 models. I guess we could just fast forward at this point since we know who wins. So we'll go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown, guys, and talk about some of the keys for my success. 6 models, 5 models. They do fight to the bitter end, I'll give them that. 3 models, 2 models. And last but not least, the druchii invasion of the High Elf lands protected by the Wood Elves is complete. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown, and I'll talk about those keys like I was saying. And obviously, guys, the Doomfire Warlocks, you saw how effective they were getting to the back line. You saw how good their abilities were between the Doom Bolts, the Soul Stealer, the Word of Pain, the Hambos. They just counter so much. Even though, the Wild Riders would have just took a lot of damage. The Bolt Throwers, we pressured his Lord. We were able to do a lot of damage on the approach. And yeah, keeping the one cold, one night to protect it, it's a really good answer to that. But look at that chariot, guys, 121 kills. Chariots are so good. There's hardly a matchup that you shouldn't bring a chariot. At least one. I promise you it will pay for itself. And also, guys, like the Lord selection, I really do think going cheap on your Lord in this matchup pays off. So, as for my opponent, Red Dead Redemption, good game. I will get the Empire game up that I casted that the mic wasn't on next. But, alright, guys, it's Atticus, and I will see you later. Alright, guys, goodbye.